All right, here we go. So, meaning is the message tonight. The message of meaning and the message of meaning in your message. So there you go. So if that's all you get, that's enough. Look, we've talked about goals. We're into, what is today, 5 of the new year? That's awesome. So what does it mean to you? We've talked about goals. And you could have thrown them away already, which is possible. Not likely, but possible. We're coming up to the weekend. You're going to get a little more relaxed. You're going to talk to yourself a lot. Most people do. They have that big conversation like, oh, it's Saturday and I didn't get as much done as I thought I would. And, you know, I'm really going to go for that walk. But we had this big snowstorm, or we had the rain, or it was too pretty, or... So, right, there's all kinds of reasons. They're excuses for not getting stuff done. There's all kinds of stuff that gets in the way. And here's the deal. You will get stuff done if you have a big enough why, a big enough, like, I'm not a huge fan of the word why other than when you're reflecting on it for yourself. I do like, so what? I do like, so what does that mean to me? Right? So what? What does it mean, right? So anything that I teach, I ask my students to be asking themselves, so what, along the way? What does it mean to them? And if they don't have an answer, it means that I haven't explained it clearly enough, and I invite you, if you want to consider yourself a student, or a friend, or a colleague, or, you know, along the way, as I do this kind of thing, I invite you to ask, so what, right, of yourself. And really, really, if you're not clear on why I'm bringing up a point, ask, so what? So what does it mean to me, right? Hey, Dr. P, what does that mean, right? So, and I would invite you to stay curious. I don't have my George with me right here. Wait, I'll get the traveling George. He'll substitute. I carry him with me, right? So you remember that George allows me to stay curious. Hello. All right. So he reminds me, stay curious, right? Stay in that space of, so what? What does this mean? What does it mean to me? What does it mean to my patients, my clients, my colleagues, my team, right? So whoever it is you're working with, you ask, what does it mean to me? What does it mean to them? To your family too, right? So if you are doing something, you're modeling that. You are modeling the way, and so your behavior has to have a so what with it as well. So the whole thing about this is you've set out with goals. You had goals to start your new year. You decided to put action steps to them. Good for you, right? Because otherwise they're just wishes and they're vapor. So when you have a goal and you have action steps, now you have a much more likely positive outcome. Right, because you're taking steps to get there, wherever there is. That's your goal. You've set up incremental steps. Good for you. We've been talking about that. This piece is all about making those steps meaningful, right? So what's the so what? So let's just say you've started a new diet. Let's just say, you know, as an example, you've decided that you're going to track your food and you're going to monitor how much of what you're eating. What's the so what of that? The so what is your body starts to feel different. The so what is you engage with more vitality, right? Look, it's what, 7 o'clock at night my time. And it's whatever time it is that you're watching this. What's your energy level, right? And so the so what is, wow, you know what? If I eat differently, I'm very likely to have more energy that sustains me throughout the day. Score. That's a huge score. Now, it's not just a score for you in that your thinking is better and you might actually be happier. It's a score for the people around you, your clients, your team, if you have patients, your family, right? If you are, I've dealt with so many clients that are like, man, I have so much energy and I get so much done at work. But when I come home, all I want to do is just sit on the couch. It's like, no. No, right? No, you don't get to. You don't get to. You don't get to say, I gave at the office, and then come home and treat your family like crap. You don't get to do that. That's totally not okay, right? So your so what has to be tied to, what do I have to give? And more important than that, the so what is, who needs me right now? Who needs me right now? And what do they need me to be? And I'm not saying, here's the trap of that. Because we're all such givers, right? So we get to, oh, what do they need? Maybe I can make it all right for them. Let me do everything for them. It's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, how do they need you to show up? Because sometimes when you show up, you've got to be the one to hold boundaries. Sometimes when you show up, you've got to be the cheerleader. Sometimes when you show up, you've got to be the one with the ideas. Sometimes when you show up, you've got to be the implementer. Got it? So, you've got goals. Next to each one of them, do you have a list of goals? Next to each one of them, I'd like you to write, so what? And then I'd like you to answer that question. So you have physical health goals. So what? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to your team? What does it mean to your colleagues? What does it mean to your family? And that's not just your immediate family. That could be your extended family as well. There may be parents, cousins, in-laws you haven't seen in a while that are counting on you. So what does it mean to them if you're actually healthy, if you're actually out there modeling the way, if you're paving the way? What about financially? What's the so what? Oh, I wish I could make $1 million. Is that a goal? Is it a real goal? Like, my hope is you've set a real financial goal for yourself, and then you've put meaning to it. You've put meaning to it. You've got to make it a step in significance. Okay? You are on your way to making meaning for yourself and for those around you. Wow, I just thought of something, and seriously, like, I'm looking down at my feet. I've got my books. I have 2 of my books. I have 4 now. I have 2 of my books. I've waved this around a couple of times. The one I haven't talked about much is this one. It's called, and I know it's backwards on the Facebook live feed, but I'll tell you, it says The Significance Factor. And I actually wasn't planning on doing this at this point. Because you're watching this, there's a free book in here for you. So if you go to waynepurnell.com, that's me, waynepurnell.com/free, you can get The Significance Factor. I will give it to you. Okay? waynepurnell.com/free. You get my book in a download form. You get it. And then work your way through it, because this book, I'm really proud of it, because it breaks it down into basically 6 steps for you to create this life of significance. You get to answer the so what question throughout, right? You get to look at what are your values. You get to look at what are your steps to how you strategize in the world. What are your steps to success? Like, what we thought was success so long ago, once you get there, you find out that the journey to get there actually changes you. And so you're a different you by the time you get there. And then you end up at this place where you thought it was success. And you're like, that's it? That's it? So your so what changes. And that's a good thing. That's not like, a lot of people go, oh, that's it? And I think of, God, I can't remember the Jack Nicholson movie. What's it called? Where he goes, what if this is as good as it... Oh, it's called As Good As It Gets. So what if this is as good as it gets, right? That's the question that he asks. And it's like, it doesn't have to be. Really, it doesn't have to be. We get to this place that we've worked really hard to get to, and then we're there, and then it's like, oh, what if this is as good as it gets? It's only as good as it gets if you stop, right? It's only that if you stop. Some of you know my whole thing about I live my life happily dissatisfied. It's like if I pause right here, if I paused my life, not stopped moving, but if I paused my life right here, I would say, hey, I have a pretty good life. I'm happy. I'm really happy. And as I'm moving through it, I'm like, and there's more, and there's more. And so I get to be happily dissatisfied because I know I'm on my quest for more. My so what is to be able to be of service in a much, much, much greater way. And so that's why I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're watching this. I'm glad you're able maybe to share it. I would love it if you would, like this post, share this post, go hit YouTube, right? On the YouTube channel, please subscribe. Like, that's how I can serve others if you let other people know that I'm doing this, and maybe giving a little food for thought here and there, right? So, and if you like and share this one, then they'll see that, and they'll see the way that they can get a free book out of it too. So you'd be doing them a favor. All right. So there you go. All right. I've covered a lot. Actually, I've covered curiosity. I've covered meaning, and I've gotten you moving from the, oh, I must take action, to, so what does the action do for you, right? And giving you a free book. And I'm asking you to show your support by liking this post, sharing this post, and continuing this on Facebook Live, on YouTube, just making it happen. Okay, let's build it. Let's build an audience together. So thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you popped in again and again and again. I started this December 1st of 2017. And guess what? I'm doing it every day. I have no intention of stopping. So let's keep it going together, okay? All right. You know what it is. Keep making your magic. Keep making your magic. I'll see you here tomorrow. All right. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. Keep making your magic. See ya.